So here's something that photographers and tech enthusiasts need to know. Major brands are rolling out sharp price hikes. Some are fighting for survival, while others are pushing major upgrades. From Canon's new lens information, Kodak's surprising financial crisis, and more. If you're thinking about buying new gear or holding out for the latest tech, this week's updates could definitely sway your decision. So let's jump in. On a quick programming note, if you're a subscriber to the channel, you likely know that I often post between 3 and 4 news and information videos during the week, with the occasional product review, how-to, and adventure video on the weekends. That's been a cadence that I've been working on since going full-time this year. As we get into the busy photo season, however, I'll be shifting that schedule a bit, and you'll likely see news and information videos closer to the weekend, with more product review videos, how-tos, and some adventure videos coming during the week. If there's a specific type of video that you'd prefer to see more of, let me know down in the comments. And as always, get subscribed and turn on the bell to get notified when those videos go live. Now let's get back to it. First up, if you're a MacBook user or you've been waiting for a great deal, like I'm a MacBook user and I've been waiting for a great deal, now might be the time. According to a number of sources, Apple's latest MacBook Pro with the M4 processor is currently available at its lowest prices to date. Now, this is a brief mention, but for anyone in the market for Apple's flagship laptop, I am currently running everything here on a Apple laptop. This could be potentially the best time to upgrade before prices bounce back or stock runs low. If you want specifics, go ahead and check out the link that I have down below for the M4 MacBook Pro. It is the lowest price that I've ever seen, and it has me thinking about upgrading. Now, let's talk about one of the most iconic names in imaging, and that's Kodak, and the crisis that's really shaking its foundations. According to Petapixel, Kodak is currently facing substantial doubt over its ability to continue as a growing concern. The company recently acknowledged in its latest earnings report that it's struggling to pay its $500 million debt obligation. This announcement triggered a sharp reaction, and its share price dropped more than 7% during trading. Kodak reported a loss of $26 million for the second quarter of 2025, which is a dramatic swing from a $26 million profit the same period a year earlier. The problem is compounded by weak sales and rising operational costs, leaving Kodak with $155 million in cash, which is a decrease of $46 million since the end of 2024. Now, Kodak is responding, and to try to survive, they're going to halt pension payments and hoping to draw about $300 million from their reserves, which is anticipated in December 2025. However, the company has clarified that this payout isn't guaranteed since the timing and approval is not fully within Kodak's control. Kodak says that if that payout happens, pulling money out of that pension system, it expects to be nearly debt-free and in its strongest financial position in years. But until then, the uncertainty remains, and there's no indication as to how the repayment back into the pension system would be designed for the future if they are more profitable. Now, their recent struggles come as a shock given that the company has been battling back from bankruptcy over the last decade and has appeared to benefit from recent analog revivals, manufacturing more film in their Rochester, New York location. This is a major turning point that, according to The Economist, this company once held 90% of US film sales and 80% of camera sales during the 70s. But they failed to capitalize on the digital shift and ultimately filed for bankruptcy in 2012. My hope is that there's still a place for this legendary brand, that they are able to continue supporting their workers even after this potential pension plan. And if they do end up with some sort of a buyout or a investment firm injection, that it doesn't come from something like private equity, but potentially from a group that would be interested in the legacy of the brand and what it can provide as a continued part of the camera and film and creative ecosystem. Next up, Mikey or Micah. Somebody needs to tell me down in the comments how to say this name. They are answering a need for real hybrid shooters and those who are crossing between camera systems. According to Photo Rumors, they've just debuted their MK EF-TLC. This is a drop-in autofocus adapter that lets Canon EF or EFS lenses be used on L-mount cameras. That includes Panasonic, Leica, and Sigma models. Now, there have been adapters for Canon glass to shoot on bodies like Panasonic. I know a lot of folks who really like using Lumix cameras and putting on Canon glass, But this one's a really interesting one because it's priced at $199 and it stands out because it has full autofocus capability. It supports PDAF and CDAF focus modes, permits direct aperture control through the camera because it has full electronic contacts, and here's the real deal, it includes a drop-in variable neutral density filter. And that one gives you an option between ND3 and ND500, offering between 1.5 and 9 stops of adjustment. It also offers a clear UV filter. It has dust and water resistance, it's made of metal, it's got gold-plated pins, so you get reliable transmission of electronic data, it supports built-in image stabilization, and it's lightweight at 160 grams. So if you're shooting with Canon glass, or you own Canon glass or want to have access to Canon EF glass, but you're shooting on L-mount cameras, now not only can you get that adapted, but you can get adapted with filters. And the ND filter with the variable control, just to be able to change those settings on the fly if you're using some of those more advanced video features in L-mount cameras, but you want Canon glass, that is a pretty cool proposition, and I love fun gadgets like that. I'll go ahead and put a link down below to this adapter. Next, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by me. And unless I say otherwise, every video on the channel is backed by my photography business. YouTube ad revenue is nice, but it doesn't keep the lights on. And it's been honestly keeping the lights on less and less, as you may have heard. I am a working professional photographer and videographer, and this is how I make a living. I specialize in portraits, events, weddings, and photo and video work for small businesses. Now, if you're in Las Vegas or Southern California, and you're looking for a professional to make you, your family, or your business look amazing, you can quickly book on my website. I offer free mini sessions as well as package and daily rates. Now, the busy season's about to hit, so grab your spot before I'm fully booked. Now, if you're like me and you're working with high volumes of portraits and photos, this next update could be a serious time saver for you. Aftershoot has just launched their early release of their AI retouching feature, which is now available to all photographers free of charge until September. Previously limited to early access users, which I did take part in, but now they're letting all users streamline their portrait workflows by automating skin smoothing, blemish and wrinkle removal, glass glare, and stray hair cleanup. It's also got teeth whitening, general face enhancements, right? All the things that you'd expect from kind of the core features of a retouching tool. But it also includes battery touching. So once you're finished with one edit, if you want to apply that to all of your edits, you can do that across the board and you can sync those adjustments. Selective subject retouching is also available and built in for group portraits as well. And you can use both JPEG and TIFF8 formats. Now there's some quirks to this specific bit of software. I've been playing with it for a little while, and after the free period, the tool will become a part of selected Aftershoot plans. And that's one thing I like about Aftershoot and why I use it, is that unlike some of the other systems out there, Aftershoot is a flat rate, and most of the edits happen on device. Now, if you're interested in testing it out, or any of the other really helpful features that Aftershoot offers, I do have an affiliate link down below that's going to get you 10% off if you use my link. I should have a review of this update up on the channel this week, so be on the lookout for that. Now, not straying too far away from this story, but also in the kind of AI photo manipulation game, let's talk about Adobe Photoshop's new AI power tools, because there's a lot of people talking about their generative upscale and harmonizing features. Now, generative upscale is designed to boost image resolution without introducing kind of blurry or ugly artifacts that are traditionally associated with upscaling. It actually generates new image details and keeps things sharp for prints and changed crops. However, right now there is a file size limitation and it maxes out at 4096 pixels on the long edge. And while it performs really well with landscapes and structured shots, sometimes it can struggle with finer details on textures like hair and skin. Sometimes that can output visible artifacts when stretching an image, especially if you're pushing it too far or using a really low quality source file. Now, the Harmonize feature is intended to bring visual unity to composite images. It'll match color, tone, and lighting between subjects and backgrounds. And it's powered by Adobe's Firefly AI. It's designed to speed up composites in portraits, fashion, and editorial work, but this process is also not flawless. It requires distinguishable backgrounds and in some cases requires some manual brushwork to really perfect the transitions. Processing can be slow and the tool doesn't allow for precise control of intensity, so blending still sometimes needs some manual adjustment. While these tools are moving fast, streamlining labor-intensive editing, but definitely not replacing a pro's eye. This is another feature that I'll have a look at here on the channel as well, so stay subscribed and get the bell on to be notified when those videos go live. Is this a start of a shift on how much time we spend retouching and compositing, or will most of us just stick to manual edits? I'm watching for your feedback, and I'm trying to test out as many of these tools as I can, so let me know down below. Another update that we're seeing, and this one is very exciting on the lens front, is from Venus Optics, with a leaked look at their major full-frame telephoto lens, the Loa AF 200mm f2. According to Mirrorless Rumors and PhotoRumors.com, this is going to be a lightweight, relatively, around 1.6 kilograms, autofocus prime, which will launch first on E, Z, and EF mounts, with Fuji X and GFX versions coming later. I want to say that again. Canon EF mounts, which means that if you're shooting with older Canon cameras, like a 5D Mark IV or a 1DX Mark III, this lens will pop on perfectly well and take full advantage of all of the features. And if you're shooting on mirrorless, you just need to use the standard adapter. I think this is huge news to see an innovative brand coming out with an EF mount lens that really Canon has left open. And I think this could be the shortcut to getting more lenses on the RF mount, while still taking advantage of most of the features that we have with the RF system and modern Canon mirrorless cameras. But this lens also packs a ton of features. It's got a drop-in filter slot, AF/MF switch, a focus limiter, programmable function buttons, and a declicked aperture for smooth manual adjustments. Now, there's no price announced yet, but sources suggest it's expected to undercut Sigma's planned competing lens in this focal range. A 200mm f2 option that's lighter and weather sealed could be huge for sports and wildlife shooters looking for big performance without the cost, especially for folks looking for that light gathering from f2, the compression of 200mm, and the ability to shoot on Canon RF. What kind of price would you, I guess, figure? What would jump you into this lens if it was priced out? Let me know down in the comments. Now, moving from a big lens to a very small accessory, let's shift really quick to the Godox TR TTL Hotshoe riser. This is an accessory that's priced at about 15 bucks, but it elevates your flash by about 30mm, which allows you to maintain full through-the-lens compatibility and high-speed sync support. There's also an FSR riser variant for manual flash operation. The riser is tilt adjustable, which makes switching between direct and bounce flash quick and easy. It's compatible with Nikon, Sony, Fuji, Canon, and Olympus cameras. And for shooters who are relying on Hotshoe flashes like the Godox V480, this is going to offer a cheap way to boost flexibility and give you just a little bit more clearance if you want to experiment with some creative bounce angles. Now, the V480 is a flash that I've mentioned in a number of my videos talking about flash photography. I've been doing more and more of them here on the channel, talking about lighting and gear. And right now I am working on an in-depth review and how-to for this, and I should have that out on the channel very soon. Now, if gear is on your radar, especially when we talk about lenses and Canon cameras, you're going to want to listen to the next story, which is that we've got some news from Canon and Fuji. And according to Photo Rumors, both Canon and Fuji will be introducing a fresh round of price increases. That's in addition to the current round of increases we've already seen. And these are going to be effective September 1st. Now, for Fujifilm, the hike is going to include Instax and printer products, with possible further raises in other products. Details on Canon's specific models are not yet available. And we've heard from Canon in the past that they weren't planning on doing an across-the-board increase, but were generally planning on being strategic about increasing prices. But this warning appeared in Canon's own financial report just recently. Nikon and Sony have already raised their prices twice in response to tariffs, and now Canon and Fuji are following suit. If you're planning to make a purchase, especially a system, if you're planning to buy a new camera or a big lens investment, do it now before these things go up in price. But speaking of Canon, they had a strong showing at the EISA Awards. According to Digital Camera World, 3 Canon cameras received top honors this year. The R1 was named the best professional camera, recognized for its speed, reliability, and autofocus, while the R5 Mark II actually won best full-frame camera for high-resolution stills. Some of its other notable features were its rapid shooting, impressive video features, and improved autofocus. Meanwhile, the PowerShot V1 was awarded the best vlogging camera for its creator-friendly design and portability. However, the coveted Camera of the Year title went to Sony's A1, known for its high resolution, rapid burst shots, and its advanced 8K video capabilities. The A1's performance was enough to edge it out from the R1, which is no small feat. Elsewhere, OM Systems, Nikon, and Panasonic also received awards, reflecting just how competitive the currently diverse landscape is. Do you think Canon deserved the overall spot, or are you happy that they kind of took these niche awards? It's like getting Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Cinematography, but not Best Picture. For our final segment, let's take a look at Canon's lens lineup. Potentially, this could be some great news for action, wildlife, and sport shooters. Canon has filed new patents for a series of lightweight, compact telephoto lenses. The patents cover what may become 300mm f2.8, 400mm f2.8 IS, and a 500mm f4 IS model, all employing a float focus system designed to improve optical performance while making the lens smaller and lighter. The system actually moves two lens groups internally to keep focus sharp while reducing aberrations and overall size. If realized, these could offer much needed alternatives to Canon's existing 100 to 300 f2.8L, which currently runs about $10,000, and the 400mm f2.8, which is about $13,000. Both are heavy and expensive. The hope is that these new primes could enter the market under $2,000 for the 300mm model, making high-performance telephotos more accessible. Now, it's worth noting that patents don't always become actual products, and Canon has not confirmed L-series status or timelines or anything for these lenses. But for now, it's a promising sign that for full-frame shooters who want lighter, less costly options, well, there might be something out there. But keep an eye on these other brands that are potentially bringing even EF glass in primes with modern technology to the RF mount. And of course, if you want to support what I'm doing here, consider becoming a channel member for $1. If you're looking to book a photo or video session, all the details are down below, including my free mini sessions and the gear and deal lists, including everything that I use to make my videos. Those links do help the channel, but as always, the easiest way to support the channel is just to hit like and subscribe. Those are free, and they go a long way to helping me grow here on YouTube. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.